Let's see, what do people want me to make a video on today? Oh, here's something. Country humans. What? This video is probably going to be horribly offensive to a lot of people. In fact, when I made a journal which simply asked about country humans, things eventually turned into a debate between people who like country humans and people who don't. So clearly this subject seems to strike a nerve in people. When I first went to research this mysterious fandom, the first place I went to was the Fandom wiki, and the first thought I had was, why are there so many twinks on my computer screen? Oh, that's the, country humans. Personified things on the internet are not new. Some of the most famous are Earth-chan, and more recently, Black Hole-chan. Country humans are not to be confused with Italia, which is a similar brand of degeneracy. But it's impossible to talk about country humans without at first talking about country balls, or as they are usually called, Poland balls. Poland balls are quite simple in concept. They're these crudely drawn balls that represent a certain country and are often used in these humorous comics that make fun of a country's history and international relations. They're often based on stereotypes and are often absurd. In short, they meme countries. If you go onto YouTube, you can find compilation after compilation of animated shorts featuring these country things. These bizarre representations of countries have even spawned a dedicated fandom that has turned the process of making these comics into a science. From painting guides, to canvas size, to all kinds of historical pondering. And this dedication to history cannot be understated. These comics can get very advanced, and I feel like I'd have to be in this community for years to even fully understand some of them. There's even a fair amount of rules that comic makers abide by, like drawing Poland's flag upside down, or drawing Israel as a cube. They kind of remind me of Rage comics in a way, but the jokes are usually much more advanced. In fact, a lot of things in this fandom are advanced, and I'm probably only scratching the surface. For example, there's one subreddit full of genuinely impressive art. I mean, damn, people put a lot of work into these. However, while Poland balls seems to be the largest and one of the oldest forms of these country representations, country humans are likely the strangest and most perverted cousin of it. The way I see it, Poland balls are meant to be humorous, while country humans are meant to be shipping fuel. Or as Mr. Reich puts it,
country humans is just a cheap tactic to make country ball porn.
Now I don't enjoy stereotypes, but these things are pretty gay. They exude an extremely gay aura, with their thin, luscious bodies, and fashion sense. And you know, I got a feeling that's on purpose. You can find these strange figures for all kinds of countries and geographic locations. Even something like Mistake Island. Boy, you got that right. But certainly, the most popular are the big boys. The United States, the United Kingdom, Russia, Canada, Germany, and their variations. Those fellas. On the Fandom wiki, there is an article for many different countries, such as the US. The United States of America is a country situated in North America. It shares its border with Canada and Mexico. Blah 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 blah. He is one of the most popular characters in Country Humans, along with his half-brother Canada and Russia. Okay, I can get Canada, but what makes Russia a half-brother? A character which he is most commonly shipped with. Ah, yes. America is egotistical and rude when you first meet him. Yeah, that makes sense. But as you warm up to him, he can be a genuinely nice guy. As long as you're his friend. History. 9/11 is our entire history. Opinions on Russia. This is where things really matter. This article wouldn't be complete without mentioning USA's relationship with Russia. In the fandom, he would be a love interest. Having a diatomic rivalry through their history, starting with Russia's father, the Soviet Union. The USA is rarely scared of showing to the others his love for Russia, while Russia is trying to hide it from his family. This is the fandom's view on the relationship. Things are a bit tenser in real life. Yeah, that's a bit of an understatement. Sometimes the detail and design choices are neat. For example, the United States is usually wearing a shirt with the word NATO on it. A reference to the North Atlantic Treaty.
6 hours later.
A reference to the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or how the famously cold countries wear these hats. That's about as far as my praise will go. A lot of these country humans are just copies of Poland balls. In terms of personalities, most of the design, and jokes, but with a full body. Like many things I've covered, this fandom is often baffling. You can find artwork after artwork of these flamboyant countries, and if you ask me what the appeal of having anthropomorphic countries have the sexy times with each other was, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I don't see what would be different if you simply switched out these country ball heads for human heads, and just made them an average American and an average Russian or something, and shipped them. Is it because these simplified heads are easier to draw, or is it because the novelty of a personified country is just so appealing for whatever reason? Maybe it's the design that people find attractive. Whatever the case, there's something that really gets some people's juices flowing when they catch sight of these personified territories. That's not to say that artists are incapable of using country humans to make amusing comics, or even just an innocent picture, but I think the true intention of these full bodies can be demonstrated by the first few fanfictions on Wattpad, such as Country Humans X Reader, Love Drunk, High on You, Country Humans Smut, and so much more. After reading through several of these, and gradually eroding any remnants of my soul, I have come to several conclusions. Many of these fanfictions have the potential for amazing satire, and a few of them take advantage of this. His father looked angry and disappointed.
Get in the goddamn car, Russia.
Russia winced at his father's harsh tone. As he got in, his father began to rant. I come home after a business trip, waiting for my son to come home to realize he's been gone for hours. Hours. And with some capitalist. Do you know how stupid that is? But for the most part, they're really only romance fanfictions with extra steps. There could be so many amazing jokes if the writers didn't take the subject as seriously as they do. Just imagine you forgot the rest of this video and listen to these passages out of context. Belarus and Ukraine groaned. Kazakhstan was too busy flapping his wings and dancing around. Kazakhstan, what did I say about flying indoors? There's something so surreal and disorienting about reading these fanfictions that I am convinced this is probably the closest we will ever get as a species to simulating a drug trip in written form. Now, it's impossible for me to conclude this subject without addressing the elephant in the room. One of the most popular ships is between the USSR and the Third Reich. This subject clearly divides people in this fandom, with some claiming it's all in good fun and fictional, and they are aware of the horrific histories of these regimes, and others claiming they are taking the subject too lightly and making romance fanfictions that disrespect the millions of people murdered during these times. Personally, I don't care. The entire concept of these country humans are so fundamentally strange that this just seems like a drop in the bucket. I'm not going to argue it's tasteful or that I approve of it, but it's so amusing to me that I can't bring myself to genuinely hate it. Like, what are we supposed to do? It's the internet. The Wild West. What do you expect? The stuff on Poland balls is far more edgy and offensive than these will ever be. This entire fandom seems like one enormous shitpost. Poland balls seems vastly superior in terms of wit and humorous comics, while Country Humans seems superior in smut? That's not to say Poland balls doesn't have not safe for work stuff. I think I'm gonna have to wash my hands after this video. I'll just leave you with this. If any world leaders happen to stumble upon this stuff, I don't think mutually assured destruction will be enough to keep us safe anymore. Anyway, my name is Solar Sands, and goodbye.